We welcome you to the Land of Sky Brightfield ribbon cutting. This is a super exciting day for us. This Brightfield is one of 4 of these charging stations we've put into the Asheville community. And we're super proud of this one because of the partnership with the county and with Land of Sky that's behind the scenes of this installation happening. So all these Brightfields, which I'll explain in a moment, were all funded through a grant from the North Carolina Green Business Fund. So we're super appreciative of the Department of Commerce and the State Energy Office and folks at the Department of Energy and the Reinvestment Recovery Act funds that were able to come to our community and make these charging stations a reality. So we call these charging stations Brightfields. And what they're all about is demonstrating that we can use solar power to fuel our electric vehicles. We can be solar driven, we can drive down the road on sunshine. So the way it works is we've got a solar array up here on the canopy. Whenever the sun's shining, like right now, that solar array is generating solar power. That power is going out onto the grid. When vehicles come to pull up at the chargers and they plug in, rain or shine, day or night, those chargers are hardwired back to the grid, and that electricity comes to those vehicles. So we're using the storage capacity and reliability of the grid, and we're putting solar power on it, and then we're pulling the electricity back off to charge the vehicles. As a company, BioWheels RTS is making sure that we're generating more solar power in the community than is being used at the chargers for the vehicles that are driving down the road. And in doing so, we're making sure that we're solar driven here in Asheville, which is pretty exciting, if you ask me. Other beautiful parts about this Brightfield installation is that everything you see here was designed and manufactured here in Asheville. And we're really, really proud of that. Indeed. With all made in America components. The chargers that we use, the Coulomb Technologies ChargePoint chargers, are 95% recyclable by volume, which is also really exciting in terms of durability and intelligence that have gone into these systems. Each one of these stations that we have in the community represents 24 jobs supported. And I feel, and Matt feels, represents a great example of what sustainable economic development can look like in our community. When you look at the efforts of Evolve Energy Partnership, and you look at the efforts of Grow WNC, and everything that Land of Sky is involved in with the Clean Cities Coalition, etc., putting together equipment in our community that integrates the innovation of solar power and electric vehicle charging is something to celebrate and something that we can really build our economic future on. So what's behind the scenes of this installation is a whole lot of partnerships. And you see a list on the sign here in the center of the station that really highlights the partners who have been involved in this project. But I want to call out a few partners individually. One being Wanda Green, the Buncombe County manager. Wanda provided us with a letter of support when we wrote our Green Business Fund grant, and her staff have really helped us to get this installation to happen here on county property. The public-private partnership that we formed with them is something that will help us expand this vision going forward and really goes to the leadership that Wanda and her staff are bringing to the county, and is a great example of that. So if we can give a round of applause for Wanda and her staff. I'd also like to thank Bill Aker, who works here tirelessly at Land of Sky. And Bill was also an individual who, on behalf of Land of Sky, provided us with a letter of support for this grant. And it has been an incredible supporter through the whole process. I feel very fortunate to have Bill in this community doing the work he's doing, having been doing it for so long. I feel he's an incredible asset. And this is just one example of what we can do when we have people like him in town. So thank you very much, Bill. And then I'd also like to draw attention to McGill Engineering, and 2 gentlemen are here from McGill today. They're one of the partners in this project, but when we talk about partnership, when we talk about bringing an innovative technology like this to town, what we're really talking about is people who are putting in sweat equity, right? People who are doing the work and doing it, in the case of McGill Engineering, for free. And that's huge, because we were using public money to make this project happen. And contributions like that from McGill Engineering is what is able to make it happen and really able to stretch that public dollar so we get the most out of it. So thank you very much. And then I'd also like to draw attention to Green Opportunities, which is an Asheville-based organization that's doing an incredible job creating jobs in our community. And Green Opportunities was involved in all of our projects, and they did a lot of work on this one, helping us get it done. Where are the folks from Green Opportunities? They were here a moment ago. Where are they? There they are. So I'd like to give those gentlemen a round of applause. They each put real sweat into this station, so thank you, fellas. And then lastly, Brian Taylor, working here at Land to Sky, who organized this event. Brian, thank you very much. You're doing a great job leading the whole EV momentum, the movement here in the community, so thank you for all that you're doing as well. So we've got a whole host of speakers to address the audience today, and I'll give you some concluding remarks at the end, and we'll have time for some questions and answers. But to begin with, I'd like to introduce you to David Gant, who probably needs no introduction, seeing that he's served our community since 1996 on the county commissioners and is now the chair of that board. And David also has been a staunch supporter of this project, and we're forever grateful for his leadership.
Well, it's good we opened this year instead of last year. Last year we might have had to kick the snow away from it. Quite a change in weather, and I think it's kind of indicative because we're doing the right things here. We're doing things we need to do to change the way we look at everything we use energy-wise. All of you who've been recognized are all part of that, because we can't go on doing things we've done for the last 100 years and use all our fossil fuels. If we do, there'll be nothing left for our children and grandchildren and people that follow them. So it's time. It's going to be jumpy. It's not going to be a straight line. There are going to be challenges. I want to congratulate Stan and BioWheels. They didn't give up. A lot of people would have said, you know, I'm getting so much hassle, I can't do this. I got other things to do. I'm going to go with the point of least resistance. But they believed in their projects. As their website says, they're action-oriented, problem-solving, and an initiative-driven company. And you don't do things like this easily because it's different. It's not the way we've done things for the last 100 years. Congratulations to Stan, Matt, Patrick, co-founders. They're smart people, because they weren't satisfied with doing the things we've always done. They want to make this area the nation's first solar-fueled electric vehicle travel area. They want it to be a destination where you can bring your electric cars, or you can rent them and see our attractions while you're here. This station is number 2 of 4 that they're working on in the first phase. The other stations are in the BioWheels downtown. Imagine that. They have it where their place is. The public works that I think the mayor is so proud of, and the mayor rightfully will talk about, I'm sure. And then our favorite university, UNC Asheville. These things can charge. Right now, they've got it down to 3 to 6 hours. But Eaton Corporation in our own community is already working on the next generation where they're going to reduce that time. They're going to keep reducing it. Just like we made our cars more efficient with fossil fuels, they will get this down. But already it's here. The future is here. This is a good way to go. We have a moral obligation to do this, folks. We have a moral obligation to support people who are willing to come out here and take away our dependence, our addiction, our obsession with fossil fuels. We don't have enough. It's not the right way to go. Every way we can do it to change that, solar, electric, and they're doing both here. We got to do it. We got to take advantage of it. I'd like to recognize some of our elected officials that are here. Mayor Volk from Hendersonville is here. We have Mayor Davis from Fletcher here. We have Mayor Taylor from Montreat. We're going to hear from Mayor Bellamy from Asheville. We also have the Chamber of Commerce Director, Kit Kramer. She was here. She is here. She's moving on me. Folks, support it. Think about when you get your next car. Let's think about this. It's the right way to go, folks. We just can't do business as we've always done it. And I think Stan and BioWheels get it. We just have to give them a chance to do their thing. It will work. It will be good. It's smart business. It's smart for our environment. It's smart economy. And it's just the right way for Americans to go because we try to do things right here. And Stan Cross and BioWheels, you're looking at it. This is where we need to be. Thanks for giving me a few minutes. Thanks everybody for taking time out of your schedule to be here. Mayor, I think Mayor Bellamy is next. Is that right? No, Joe McKinney is next.
Go ahead, Joe.
I hate following David Gant. And I hate preceding Mayor Bellamy as well. Both of them are great public speakers, and I'm not. But my part in this project was very simple, and that was Stan talked with Bill Aker and said, we want to put a solar power electric fueling station in your parking lot. And I said, that sounds great. Unfortunately, it's not my parking lot. It's Buncombe County's parking lot. So my involvement was picking up the phone and calling Wanda Green, which he'd mentioned, and it's easy to say yes, we want it. It's difficult. All the liability, the technicalities that go into locating is a lot more than you might think. And Wanda and Greg Iswell with the county really did a good job of supporting this, pushing this through, with support, of course, of the county commissioners. But usually those that are most important in a project are the ones that are behind the scenes that want others to get recognition. But Wanda and her staff, again, they really push this project forward. I think the location is important because we serve as a regional hub for 19 of our local governments in the region. We have a lot of foot traffic. We have a lot of people who come to our building to meet regionally, and we felt like having it here was a good presence in our region. And so Bill Aker's been mentioned as well. This is just one part of an overall plan that Land to Sky, the Clean Vehicles Coalition, Clean Cities, and Bill are promoting to get where David has mentioned, our reliance on fossil fuels, reducing that, making our community less reliant on that, providing jobs and so forth, and we felt like this was really a model project. I did want to mention I saw Shelley Townley from Representative Schiller's office. We had others from other elected offices that had to go, but they've been very supportive in our efforts, not only with this project but other ones as well, and appreciate your participation, your interest in this. With that, I'm going to introduce Mayor Bellamy. I did want to recognize, David mentioned our board members, but certainly our chair right now, Letta Jean Taylor from Montreat, who has been a big proponent of this project and of many initiatives in Land to Sky. And I also have the opportunity to introduce our possibly our next chair, and that is Mayor Bellamy from Asheville. She is a real advocate. I think if any of you were at the ribbon cutting ceremony that the city had, you know her passion, her involvement, and her excitement about this. And I asked her to be here today to offer some remarks from the city. And with that, I'll introduce Mayor Terry Bellamy. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here. I'm really excited about the opportunity to speak to you just for a second. I won't hold the program up. I do want to say thank you so very much to BioWheels. This is exciting that they have chosen to make sure this happened in the city of Asheville. It's funny, last night during the State of the Union, I was actually at a council meeting, so it's not like I actually got to see it. I had to watch it in recording, but our nation was challenged to reduce our carbon footprint, that everything was on the table. They're actually going to have to follow Asheville. Because if you think about what we are doing in Asheville today and what we have done through the partnerships with Land to Sky Regional Council and now with BioWheels, Asheville is a leader in producing clean energy and reducing our carbon footprint by looking at the types of modes of vehicles and how they can be fueled. And I just want to say thank you to BioWheels, to Land to Sky. Bill, you are truly a leader, because now the rest of the nation is going to be looking at Asheville to say, how are you doing it? How's your CNG station working? How's your electric station working? How are your buses, how's your fleet working? And Land to Sky's name is all over those things, but I just want to say thank you for the leadership and the partnership. I think it's very creative that we not only are looking at reducing the carbon footprint by having an electric fueling station, but having at the table the next generation of individuals who can carry on this work and take it to another level by having Asheville go as a part. Green Opportunities is not only talking about the difference that we need to make in our community, they're training the future leaders, the future employees, and hopefully employers to help move this needle a little further in our community. So I say this is a triple bottom line effect that is a win for our environment, a win for our economy, and a win for our future. So I say congratulations to us all, and thank you all for your leadership. We appreciate you.
So as I mentioned earlier, all of this is possible through the North Carolina Green Business Fund, which is a super fund that has made wonderful things happen in our region and across the state. And representing the Department of Energy's State Energy Office today is Reed, what's your last name? Reed Conway. Nice. Reed Conway, who's come from Raleigh to talk to us today. Reed.
Thank you, Stan. For those of you, my office is here in Asheville. I'm not coming out of Raleigh to talk to you. I do energy conservation right here in Western North Carolina, and I'm proud of it every day. Let's talk about leadership. First off, we have to go back and look at President Obama and Congress passing the 2009 American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. That funded the state of North Carolina to be able to fund not only this project, but hundreds of projects within local governments, our business, industrial, commercial sectors, our residential markets with weatherization. It covered a broad base of areas on energy efficiency throughout the state of North Carolina. We also have to talk about leadership when we look at our Governor Perdue. She created the Green Business Fund. And it was through her recognition of the recovery money that we funded the Green Business Fund the last 2 years to $5 million each. And so not only has BioWheels RTS been a part of that funding, but many other locations here in Western North Carolina, green businesses that have done great work, putting solar, putting wind in locations all across Western North Carolina. But most of all, we have to look at our local leadership. This is a public-private partnership. We have to look at Chairman Gant and all the folks within Buncombe County. We have to look at Mayor Bellamy and her staff. We have to look at Dr. Ponder at UNCA and her staff. Without these partnerships, these areas wouldn't be here. But most of all, we have to look at not only Stan, but Matt Johnson and their leadership in pushing this through when they could have stopped numerous times. Western North Carolina is not behind the times. We are the leading edge when it comes to energy and environmental issues. And I'm happy to serve you right here in Western North Carolina. Thank you.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm glad Reed's here and not in Raleigh. Indeed. And lastly, I have Sarah Day Evans. And Sarah Day is currently working with the North Carolina Sustainable Energy Association. And she was also a real strong advocate when she was working with the Department of Commerce when we submitted this grant. Really helped us refine this project and get it to a place where it would not only be fundable, but also practical to put on the ground. So, ladies and gentlemen, Sarah Day Evans.
Thank you, Stan. This is a very exciting day for us, and yes, I'm particularly excited because having worked with Matt and Stan sort of from the beginning, there were times when I think we questioned, is this going to happen? And obviously it is happening, and we truly are leading the state. I'd like to say that Charlotte wants to claim that mantle, but we are extremely competitive out here, and I think that we'll kick their butt personally. Just for those of you who may not be familiar with the North Carolina Sustainable Energy Association, we've been around about 30 years, and for the last 10 in particular, we have been the lead organization for policy development in Raleigh for the clean energy economy. And our particular specialties are our market intelligence and our data that we then provide to the legislature to let them know how viable this part of our economy is. And it is extremely viable. The clean energy economy grew 18% in 2001, while the rest of the economy was dropping by about 4%. We have spent the last 10 years in particular ensuring that the incentives are in place for clean energy companies. We secured the 35% state tax credit for clean energy installation. We helped North Carolina become the first state in the Southeast to adopt the Renewable Energy Portfolio Standard, which requires that electric utilities incorporate clean energy into their electric generation portfolio. We helped to get a 25% tax credit in place for construction and retooling of renewable energy manufacturing facilities. We established the authority for local governments to provide energy efficiency financing to citizens and businesses. And we helped to form NC Green Power, which allows electric customers to purchase clean energy credits from small renewable energy installations in the state. And we are currently working, and we work to improve conservation in government buildings by passing legislation that required statewide efficiency measures. Our current campaigns, which we would of course love your support on, and I am still new working in this position. Actually, our organization has doubled in size in the last year. So I will be reaching out to the local governments and the businesses in this area. Our campaigns for this coming year are on-bill financing, which allows electric utilities to offer energy efficiency upgrades to small business customers with loans that pay for those upgrades. The energy savings are then used to pay back the loan so that the monthly utility bill is no higher than it was before. And when the loan is paid off, the small business owner's bill is permanently lower. We also are advancing the third-party sales legislation, which would allow renewable energy generators to sell directly to the consumer. Currently, that cannot be done. There are only 4 states that prohibit third-party sales to the consumer, and North Carolina is one of them. 20 states currently do allow for that. We have a number of publications, the Clean Energy Data Book, Citizens Guides. I have those with me. I just hope that you'll speak with me afterwards. We are an association of students, individuals, nonprofits, local governments, regional partnerships, and of course the clean energy businesses. We host a dynamic annual clean energy conference. This year it's going to be at Charlotte. Darn it, next year I'm determined to get it in Asheville. But we are going to have a reception at the NASCAR Museum, which we think is a great opportunity to feature BioWheels, and Asheville's new LED street light project, which of course is the first in the state. The other thing that I think is significant for all of us, and especially for local governments, is that you can rest assured that NC voters are behind you in supporting clean energy. Last year, the Fallon poll, which is a conservative polling organization, conducted a clean energy poll and found that 91% of North Carolina voters support using solar to meet our growing energy needs. 85% want the legislators to support new policies allowing renewable energy companies to offer electricity savings to customers and businesses. That informs our third-party sales campaign. They want companies to be able to offer that energy directly to the consumer. And 75% support changing our energy policy to double the amount of clean energy that energy companies can make available to consumers. Increased conventional fuel and plant costs have driven up electricity rates over the past decade, almost 40% for business customers. This upward tick will continue unless we embrace a mix of renewable and energy efficiency solutions. Clean energy gives consumers affordable, secure, and reliable options in our fast-changing market. If fossil fuel energy continues to climb in the way that it did in the last 10 years, by 2020, the cost will be the same. And clean energy is continuing to become less expensive. Fossil fuels are becoming more expensive. So there's no reason not to embrace clean energy in Western North Carolina. We're pleased to be marketing partners with BioWheels as they launch this Asheville Bright Station, and I want to thank Stan and Matt and Patrick for providing me the opportunity to speak on behalf of NCSEA today, and we commend the Land of Sky Regional Council, Buncombe County, and the city for their visionary support of this project to ensure Asheville is the destination for driving on sunshine. Thanks.
So I just have a couple of things to leave you with. First is that here in Western North Carolina and statewide in North Carolina, we don't have any raw material to make energy from fossil fuels. We import it all of it. And what that means is that in a region like ours here in Western North Carolina, we're hemorrhaging $3.3 billion every year out of our regional economy to pay for that coal, that natural gas, that oil that we need to come into our community. This is a way out of that. Right now, a small way, but with potential to be a much greater impact. When we look at just how we drive, with the oil that we use and the gasoline that we burn, 95 cents on every dollar of gasoline that we purchase leaves our community the moment we purchase it. It's gone. All that money we spend to drive around, it leaves. It doesn't stay here. So what we're trying to do here is not only provide a solution by putting renewable energy, integrating it with electric vehicle charging and putting this whole driving on sunshine vision forward, but we're also trying to stop the bleeding. We're trying to offer a way in which we can take responsibility as Western North Carolinians for the power we need in our lives. So I hope that you'll all join us in not only celebrating this, but in really encouraging more of it going forward. We've put in a grant with the Tourism Product Development Fund, and our vision is to make Asheville America's first travel destination where people can come here and have this solar-driven experience for their vacation. We think it's very viable, and we think it's a way to leverage the tourism economy to help get this infrastructure on the ground so that all of us, residents here in Western North Carolina, can enjoy owning electric vehicles in the future, and so that we can help to create an even more vibrant economy around this technology by linking it to that tourism economy that underpins everything that we do here in Western North Carolina. So thank you all very much for coming out today. We look forward to talking with you. If you have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand and we'll address them as need be.